Hey everybody, Brian Mayer from Hot Sauce Daily, and today we are doing a pork butt on the REC TEC pellet grill, and I'm going to keep it real simple this time. I've got a 8.72 pound pork butt here, and I don't even have to trim. I got lucky. Let me show you. The fat cap is minimal. I'm not even going to bother to trim any of that off. There's a thicker part here, but it doesn't cover the whole bottom, so there's really no need to cut much of that off. That'll just all render out anyway. And in keeping things simple, usually I'll rub this with just classic French's mustard. I like to put a bunch of mustard on it and then throw the rub on, but the rub I'm using today is so fine, it's not a coarse rub. It's a backyard BBQ rub from the Backyard BBQ Club. It's a very fine powdery rub, so I'm going to skip the mustard too. We're really keeping it simple. So just going to start rubbing this baby down. This is it's basically salt, sugar, garlic. There's a little bit of dehydrated soybean oil in this rub, but I don't think I need the mustard to make such a fine rub stick. This is going to stick to the meat just fine. Alright, I think I got it rubbed up nicely. Like I said, that mustard usually, it doesn't add any flavor, it just helps the rub stick to the meat. But I'm going to skip that step today because we're keeping everything simple. And I'm going to cook this at, I'm going to smoke it at a higher temp. I'm going to do 350. I think about 4 hours. We'll get it to where we're going to wrap it in another hour and a half. So about 5.5 hours for the 8-pound butt. I saw REC TEC do it on their website, and I'm going to give that high temp cook a try. And you'll see I've got this roast, or the pork butt, on a wire rack. I saw that was a pretty neat trick I saw in another video. It really helps to be able to move the roast around and turn it if you want to turn it. I'm cooking fat cap down, what little fat cap there was, and we'll see you at the grill. Okay, it took the grill just about 20 minutes to get up to 350 from a cold start. I've got an amazing smoker tube inside. I just put the pork butt in, and it's looking good. Nice red color on that rub. The amazing smoker tube is going to give us a little extra smoke. You might wonder, why do you put a smoker tube in a smoker? Well, the REC TEC is designed to impart more smoke at a low temp, and since I'm cooking at 350, it's not going to have as much smoke that I like, so I put the tube in there. That tube will burn about 2 hours, give us a nice smoke ring in the meat, and then and that'll be it as far as the real heavy smoke. So I guess we'll check back in about an hour. Okay, we are 2 hours into the cook. About an hour and a half in, I took the smoke tube out. I thought an hour and a half of that heavy smoke was going to be enough. I was afraid 2 hours would be too much. Let's take a quick peek. As my camera's capturing the color of that, the bark is developing. It's rendering a lot of fat out. And let me try and get a shot of the fat that's dripping out the side here. That little drip bucket is filled up. Might be able to make some nice gravy out of that. I don't know, I'm not a gravy guy, but my wife will figure something out. So that's what it looks like 2 hours in. Again, I'm doing the high temp 350. Based on what I saw on the REC TEC website. that's how they pulled this off, and I'm giving it a try. So 2 hours in, probably got another 2 hours to go. The next hour I'm going to put the probe in the meat and start to get some readings, because I'm shooting for 165 before I wrap it. Okay, I was getting a lot of wind noise at this point, so I'm going to do a voiceover. Here we are at 4 hours at 350, and we hit the 165 internal temp I wanted. That's a beautiful bark we got on there. I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to wrap it, double wrap it in foil for the last hour and a half. So I'm going to start with one piece of foil. It's not a real science to this. You basically just want to get it sealed nicely. Some people like to add some juice at this point, apple juice, gravy, or beef broth or something. Soda, I've heard. But I think this meat is moist enough, so I'm just going to double wrap it in foil at this point. And we're going to put it back in. We're going to stay at 350. This is a high temp pulled pork after all. And I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised with the results. So there, I got that wrapped nicely in 2 layers, 2 different directions. Going to pop it back on the grill, stick the meat probe back in, monitor that temp to the to get it to the finished temp of 190, I think it was 195. All right, put that back in there. This REC TEC Mini is just awesome. Love it. Here goes the probe, and we'll see you in the kitchen. Okay, now the big reveal. It's been resting for an hour. Total time was 5 1/4. I was shooting for 5 1/2, but it hit 195 at 5 1/4, and actually got up to, by the time I pulled it, the meat was 205. And let's see what we got. Yeah, now the big test is, does the bone come out easy? Let's see. Yep, sure does. Get rid of it. We got some juice in there. You want to save that juice, Marilyn?
Yeah, I just dump it in the pan. Pull it apart in the foil and then dump it in the pan, so you're not having so much to handle and just flop all over the place.
Yeah, let me do that. Let me get rid of the foil, because it's just going to get messy.
Beautiful.
Nice bark.
And this is
The Backyard BBQ rub.
from Pork Mafia.
Yeah, backyardbbqclub.com.
Bill Wingo's.
Okay, a little taste test.
Sure.
There you go. Reach in there and grab that little piece.
Oopsie.
Don't look at the camera. That's the bark.
Mm-hmm. Mm. A little sweetness to it, and then savory.
Mm.
The meat's beautiful. Tastes wonderful.
Now, everybody on video always says, look at that smoke ring. Well, I'm colorblind, so I never really see the smoke ring.
Yeah,
Do you see
right
one?
Here. It's right here.
Right there, yeah. Okay.
You've got a
I
good
do see that.
½ inch. Yeah.
I want to try a little piece out of the middle. Yeah.
Tender to the bite.
Mm.
Definitely leave some of that juice in there though, because it's going to need it.
All right, so
Flavor.
success.
Absolute success. Wonderful.
That very inside is super moist.
And tender.
Is that good?
Very good.
Okay. So anyway, initial taste test. 100% of the chefs who tried it agree. Just hold it in there for me. That it came out pretty good.
It's awesome. It really is pretty.
It's pretty. I like the rub.
Yeah.
From Backyard BBQ. Just a simple salt, sugar, spice rub.
Backyard BBQ from.
Little bit of heat to it, you said.
just plain. I don't taste it now.
It's from backyardbbqclub.com.
Right, and it's Pork Mafia's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get the tray back in here. Let me just put a few more pieces of bark in here.
Yeah, because we like the bark.
Oh yeah. Well, and I don't want it to get soppy in the juice.
You like the crispy.
Okay, so we'll probably come back with the final video of how the sandwiches look and what kind of sauce we decide to try on them a little bit later. And here is the fruits of our labor. There's our pulled pork sandwich on a little potato roll, some coleslaw on the side. Just delicious, delicious pork. Beautiful, beautiful. There's a little bit of sauce on that. That is the JoJo's Hog Shack Carolina sauce. Carolina style is thin, vinegary, peppery, and sure enough, JoJo's Hog Shack fits the bill. That's a Maryland company, by the way. So we love to promote our home state of Maryland sauces. And I didn't show the front of the Rub-a-Dub-Dub rub that I put on the pork butt. Earlier I showed that from backyardbbq.com, or I'm sorry, backyardbbqclub.com. But that's their Rub-a-Dub-Dub's rub, very fine but flavorful rub. Really happy with that. And here's a sample of what we vacuum sealed. Our 8-pound butt yielded about 6 pounds of pulled pork. So we've got a bunch of these little packets that we vacuum sealed, and we'll throw them in the freezer and pull one out every couple of weeks throughout the next couple of months and have some fresh pulled pork Sammys, and then we get to play with different barbecue sauces then. So thank you for watching, everybody. Please subscribe to our video channel and visit some of the links that I'll put in the show notes, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.